has been wonderful. So tonight, I get to introduce you to this year's recipient of the Charles Forsyth Award, which is both a professional and personal honor for me to do. I need to start with a word about who Charlie Forsyth was, right? Because anybody in this room remember Charlie? Mary, you have to raise your hand. And Doug Bailey and Dee. So I need to introduce you to Father Charlie Forsyth. He was a Benedictine priest. He was also a military chaplain that served in World War II. And he was a campus minister in Colorado. As a priest, chaplain, and campus minister, he understood the importance of pastoral care. Wounded in the war and ministering in a post-World War II higher education, had the GI Bill and the boom of campus life. His ministry was much about healing and rebuilding. So he was dedicated to formation, his own, his students, and frankly, other campus ministers. Father Charlie was instrumental in the creation of the Frank J. Lewis Institute, which was the orientation and networking program for new campus ministers. That program began in the early 1960s, and we see it today in the launch program that CCMA sponsors to help new campus ministers begin their ministry. Father Charlie was an innovator who valued inclusion and excellence. He was the last president of the Newman Chaplain Association. It was an organization for priests who served in campus ministry. And under his leadership, that association gave way to what is now the Catholic Campus Ministry Association, an association that welcomes lay and religious and ordained to the ministry. And Father Charlie served as the first president of CCMA. Wow is right. That's absolutely true. So, knowing a little bit about Father Charlie, his service, his commitment to pastoral care, his dedication to formation, his pursuit of inclusion and collaboration, his vision of ministry in and to higher education, his capacity to influence higher education, offers us a snapshot of why we named this award the Charles Forsyth Award. It also gives you a glimpse into the ministry of Crystal Sullivan. So Crystal is a gifted ministry leader. She has a big heart that sustains her pastoral care, and she has a curious mind that drives both her pastoral and intellectual engagement of students and of faculty, indeed the entire campus community. Crystal began her ministry at Iowa State in 1994. And it was during those years, her Iowa years, where I first met her through the campus ministry mentoring program, which was an intentional learning community that sought personal and professional growth through mentoring, through theological reflection, and through practical ministerial application. In 2004, Crystal felt a call to do something more. She went to the University of Dayton to lead the graduate assistant program at the University of Dayton. And in that role, her commitment to formation, to pastoral excellence, to sound theology blossomed. In 2011, Crystal became the first lay director of the University of Dayton's campus ministry program, at the time the largest campus ministry program in the country. So while she continues in her work as the executive director or director of campus ministry at the University of Dayton, her contributions to campus ministry don't stop there. Crystal was part of the first directing team for the Campus Ministry Leadership Institute in 1997. She went on to direct that program for several years, and years later helped us expand that program to mission dioceses and to campuses across the country. In addition, Crystal served as part of the certification committee. And most recently, as you've heard lots about certification in this gathering, Crystal led the working group that helped redesign to make more accessible and more effective the certification program that CCMA sponsors. And Crystal led that team that guided that process. And most recently, Crystal serves as part of the campus working group confronting racism. And I'm wondering if the University of Dayton asks you, like, how you spend your time in a variety of other projects that you participate in. In any case, Crystal's dedication to formation, her faithful and radical hospitality to welcome all of God's children, her joyful embrace of this pastoral and intellectual ministry as a woman of deep faith serves as a model for us all. Crystal, you are an exemplar for us and a deserving recipient of the Forsyth Award. Congratulations.
I was sitting in an office in an upper room at Iowa State University in tears because I was so overwhelmed by what it meant to be a campus minister. I did not know what to do. And I called CCMA because that was like a lifeline, I hoped, talking to the current director there, who was Don McCrabb, Barbara's husband. And I couldn't even get the words out. I don't know how to do this, can you help me? And Don led me to the mentoring program, which is how I met Barbara, and eventually how I met many others, and how I began to get involved in CCMA. And I have to say that this organization, for me, has been more than a lifeline. It is where I have learned how to be a campus minister, where I have met mentors and friends, and where people have called my gifts that I didn't even know existed out of me. And I have to offer some thank yous to some of those people here. They're my guests here tonight. I've already mentioned Barbara McCrabb, very wonderful personal friend, but one of those people who called the gifts out of me. And then Michael Galvin-Sterl sitting here, and his wife, who taught me how to work with Michael, and also how to be a mom and a lay person in ministry. But the three of you really formed me into being who I am today, and called things out of me that I didn't know existed, and still taught me how to do that with other people. And so when I had the opportunity to go to the University of Dayton to work and do formation for other campus ministers, some of you who are sitting in this room, that was my joy, to be able to walk with and mentor other campus ministers, and then to realize that I wasn't just teaching you, but you were teaching me also. And so I want to say to you tonight that it takes a village. It takes a village to do what we do, and you are now in this village, and I'm so grateful that we are here together in person, because after years away, I now know probably less than a third of you in this space, and I regret that, because I think we need to remember to be part of this village. And I was grateful this morning for the burnout workshop, where our presenter reminded us to remember our whys. And I have a very, very vivid experience of a prayer experience on a silent retreat when I was 24 years old. Me imagining myself in Ignatian spirituality, praying as the woman at the well. And Jesus coming up to me. I was sitting on the side of the well, like we were like with our backs laying on the well together. Jesus was sitting next to me. And I said to him over and over again, how did you do it? How did you do this? And Jesus said, don't worry, I got you. We're going to do this together. And for me, ministry, my call to ministry has been a response to God who said, go build the kingdom of God. And Jesus who said, I got you. We're accompanying. I'm accompanying you. I'm doing this with you. And when I can't do it anymore, I literally close my eyes and I imagine myself hanging out at that well with Jesus, who says, I got you. So, in the Maryness world, we revere Mary and Mary's yes. Mary who said yes to God to bring Christ into the world. I hope that being here today has helped inspire your yes, that you can respond like Mary to God's call, and that together we can build the kingdom of God. Thank you.